Hello, good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hail Satan and praise Lucifer. All right, let me get this straight real quick because I'm working on something big and beautiful. I can't share it with you guys, but I'm dealing with some shit over here. Dealing with this person that I'm actually going to discuss today. And I feel as though I should have to discuss my personal business? No, I don't. Do I feel as though I have to explain myself? No, I don't. Because here's how I feel. First of all, I don't feel that anybody should be judging me, either good or bad, based upon certain people, based upon certain men on this website, in particular, this one man who I think that if you betrayed, judged, or hid behind this person, you are a goddamn fool. The people who did that, they're not my friends anyway, so I have no concern whatsoever. One of the reasons why I don't feel that I should have to explain it is because I feel that too many people interfered. And with people's interference, this person got very much so out of control, which, in my opinion, kind of affected everybody in a negative way, because that is what this person intends to do, which is to have a negative effect on people, in particular, Black people. Oh shoot, I gotta mute real quick. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. All right. Sometimes you have to allow people to handle their situations the way they are supposed to. I have had people trying to judge me and my powers based upon this person and their behaviors. But this person is very fake, very fraudulent, always has been. And anybody that went against this person in the community was very smart. I, on the other hand, was trying to take a softer approach to the things that this person was doing. And he took my kindness for weakness. Okay. Now, this person is going to seriously regret everything that he did, including his whole motherfucking life. Okay. So I want to talk about this fake fraud named Mike. And I want to make this perfectly clear. Me and my family are recovering. Me and my innocent children are recovering from the things that this person did. There are some people who are actually idiotic enough to hold on to everything that he says just because he is a man. And I promise you, especially if you are a woman, this is something that you're going to regret because he shouldn't have been fucking with witches. And I think that if you are a witch that considers yourself to be my adversary, well, you were really dumb to deal with him, and you might as well just go ahead and take your witch hat off and go back to church because you're not ready to wear your big girl panties. You're not. So, first of all, yesterday I was live talking about something, and my son comes upstairs, and somebody is at my door while I was live. And it was not Mike, it was actually some court paperwork. I'm not going to mention specifically what that court paperwork is, but everything is always and will always be under control. I am the woman of my house. No man runs my house. But Jacob came upstairs and he was like, should I let Mike in? And I was like, let Mike in. It was not Mike at the door. Mike is not ever allowed to darken my doorstep anymore. Mike betrayed me. And this last time he betrayed me, it was really, really stupid because I can promise you that Mike's life is going to be destroyed. He's going to have a lot of fuck shit in his life. He already does. And because he kept fucking with me. Okay. And he would not change his mind about it. Okay. He wouldn't. He didn't. He would not change his mind. I tried to talk some sense into that man so many times. Told him that it is ill advisable for him to go against me. He wanted to play games. He wanted to continue. And then here we are. Now, I want to say this and I want to make this perfectly clear that Mike is not, nor has he ever, nor will he ever be more powerful than me. This is not about what y'all think it is about. This is about the simple truth that it's a man who decided to be an opportunist, very evil, very corrupt, decided that he wanted to do harm to me, thought that he would get away with it, assumed that I was weak because I was away from my family. Okay, because he's weak and codependent. Okay, he has to have his family near him, which is his cousins and the people that he pretends to. I don't even know how to take that situation anymore but I think he does a lot with Photoshop. Let's just put it like that to make things seem real. Okay. So, he decided that he was going to be the moniker of someone that was going to try to harm a woman and her children. And please believe that he is not only cursed real bad, but he will also reap what he sows. Okay. Now, I don't feel that I should have to explain to anybody. I think that, and I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of education, that the moment people began to judge me because of him, which just happened a few years ago, that was when things got bad for everybody. You do not judge a woman based upon the actions of a man, especially somebody like him. And he would have been under my direct control if people had not done that for him just because he's a man. Okay, so that was a big mistake. Um, but there are people on here that don't like me. Hey, I get it. I totally get it. You wanted this man to ruin me or bring me down, and he doesn't have the power to do that. Okay. Nothing that he has done has convinced me of anything. I'm going to continue. Uh, and I'm gonna definitely overcome. I've already overcame a lot of the challenges that he performed pretty much. And I think that no matter what race you are, no matter what race you are, you need to know that in no community should a man be allowed to run amok in this way because he is being disrespectful to witches and women. Now, he's very mentally ill. Okay, he does. He has a legitimate mental illness. He has problems. Okay, and in my humble opinion, he's not very smart, but very manipulative, very destructive, especially self-destructive. Okay, and because he does not believe that he can get through life without trying to harm people. And there were a lot of people that judged me, based upon his actions. And this actually just started because of people and their hatred, and everybody that goes there is going to fail. Everybody that goes by his set of indoctrinated beliefs is going to fail. Okay. So Mike is not welcome in my home anymore. I do not have a sexual relationship with him anymore. But I still don't feel that the community should have judged me based upon that. Because, like I said, he was being placed under control and he knew it. So that's why he did a lot of the stupid stuff that he did. Nobody should have backed him up. Nobody should have supported him. Nobody should have encouraged him. But of course, they were trying to use him to bring me down. In the long run, a lot of people are going to regret that, have regretted that, because there's no power in what he did. Even when he dropped revenge porn on me, I always still had the power. Okay. I've always still had the power to overcome that situation and rise like a phoenix. Okay. So he has been going around bragging about his ability to try to embarrass me, his ability to try to humiliate me and disrespect me, and pretty much betray me, pretty much, which it's not a betrayal. We all knew the way that he was. Okay. And as a black woman, you should not be giving a man like that any props. Okay. If you're giving a man like that props, then stop calling yourself a witch immediately. Okay. Immediately stop calling your witch. If you give a man like that props, immediately just hang it up. Okay. Now, we have to the what is the point in having this conversation? We have to get back to business and forget about him and move forward. Divine Services has to get back to business. Regardless to what Mike did, to what he said, he's a silly fool, he's a stupid idiot. He has no power. He is ridiculous. And if you're not careful, you'll get duped. Now, first of all, I have seen several black women and other races of women trying to work with him to bring me down. It is never going to happen. I am here to stay, and so is my business is here to stay. You should know that this person is factually a hater, hates on everybody. In fact, I have to be careful about what I say and how I address him because he'll immediately start to flag my channels. I notice that people in the community are sort of duped and fooled by him. Mike is an extremely hateful, vindictive person that nobody should trust. Nobody. Nobody. Okay. And the only way that he would have been somebody is if he would have went along with my program, and he didn't. He wanted to continue to be a low-lifed vagabond and a scumbag and a backstabber because somehow he feels as though there's power in that. Now, no black person can trust him. He hates all black people. I want y'all to know that. I don't care if he shows respect for some of you black women. He hates all black people, and he's black. Okay, he takes colorism to a whole new level in the South. This is something that somehow got ingrained in him, and he has been at the head of this crap. And we don't have time to wait or to waste. But please believe that my spirits are going to destroy him. They have already given him several signs. There was a time when he was a little afraid of me. And for some reason that changed when two things happened. When two insignificant women turned against me, because they are insignificant if you ask me. And then also when he got a little bit of money in his pocket. And he's going to lose all of that money. It's been 2 or 3 years since he's gotten that money. He has never done anything with it but pissed it away. Okay. And he not only does he hate black women, but he hates witches. He hates all witches. He thinks that he's Jesus. Okay. This is how mentally ill this person is. He thinks that he's Jesus. Need I say more? He thinks he's Jesus. Need I say more? And this is not black or white. This is not about black or white. This is not about any of that. This is about, no, no. It's not about black or white, and it's not about racism. It has nothing to do with that. It doesn't. This is about a black man that is factually uh fucked up, and nobody should be supporting or backing him up. I'm not trying to help anybody that has lied on me or went against me. I'm not trying to help you. In fact, I don't want anything to do with that environment. I am moving past all of that. But just a little FYI, everybody in that sector, he's flagging your channels. He's just flagging you, just like he did me. He has a mental problem. He has a serious mental problem. Even when you're not talking about him, he's flagging you. Okay. And the reason why he's flagging is because he doesn't appreciate the way that he's been treated. He bases his entire life based upon that sector. He's a complete idiot, if you ask me. I don't know why. I know that I don't want to be with him anymore. Okay. And really, to be honest with you, it's something that I didn't want to do to begin with. But I was, he did pressure me, and I believe that he dabbled in a little bit of love magic, and he ended up getting me. But at the end of the day, he himself will understand who he's messing with. Okay. Now you can tell that he's weak and he's a loser, uh because he was going around saying, oh, she's about to be evicted and da 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 da. And it is because he doesn't know how to manifest money. I want you women to listen to me very, very carefully. He does not know how to manifest money. He doesn't. He doesn't really know how to make money. He's very codependent. He's not an entrepreneur type. Not really. He's not. I didn't do that to him. Okay. I have nothing to do with it. I didn't meet that man or know him until he was in his 40s. So I have no idea how he got that way. He's just that way. Okay. And he's very hateful and spiteful and vindictive when it comes to YouTube, because everybody on YouTube, most of us are what? We're entrepreneurs. That's what YouTube is. YouTube is a huge marketplace. Nobody on YouTube should be fighting over clients. Nobody on YouTube should be fighting over a position, because we all have our own positions. Okay. So any of the witches that you saw trying to use him against me, well, they're at a weak place in their lives. Let's just put it like that. Okay. Now, obviously, if a witch is going to be with a man, the man should be on point. He should be attuned with her, but he thinks that he is a white man named Jesus. Okay. Now keep in mind, I don't have anything against Jesus Christ. Okay. I am Luciferian, but that doesn't mean I have anything against Jesus Christ. I do have something against, however, organized religion. And y'all already know what my stance is on that. Now, he feels very strongly about his religion, even though he never goes to church, and I don't even think he tithes either. But everything that he did and everything that he does to go against witches, he does it because of his so-called religious beliefs. However, he did the same thing that a lot of corrupt men in the church or having anything to do with the church do, which is pretty much, I don't want to say rape, but I don't even want to say took advantage of, but the revenge porn and the disgusting things, no. Yeah, no. The things that he did was not Christian like. Let's put it like that. So at the same time where he called himself exposing people and doing people wrong, doing it in the name of the Lord, he failed and he's a hypocrite and he always will be. Okay. Unless he decides to change himself. Okay. So that situation is over. He has ran out of chances. He is going to seriously regret. A lot of people are upset and disappointed that he was not able to bring me down. This is not going to be the standard set for witches at all. It is not going to ever be a standard for a witch, whether or not you are a black witch or a white witch or a Mexican witch. It is not going to be the standard for us witches for a male or female, but especially a male, to be used to try to discredit us, debase us, deplatform us, or disempower us. Okay? It's never going to be the standard. Men need to show respect for the witches, and if they don't, they can get stitches. Period. This is not only important for the witches. I'm talking about real witches. I'm not talking about witches that are just, you know, I'm talking about real witches that have a job to do, that are on our path. Okay. So we are not going to make it a community standard or either a witchy standard that a weak man can come in and derail a witch and her family. Okay, if you want something like that, you need to seriously go and reevaluate because eventually you're going to learn the lesson. Witches have for a long time had to fight not only for their spiritual rights to practice, but then also their rights as women. Okay. And it's not about having a man, keeping a man. Oh, you can't keep a man. Oh, man, a man, a man, a man. No, it's not about that. It's about the quality of the men that we have in our lives. It's not about that. I personally don't want a man that doesn't respect women, and I don't want a man that doesn't respect witches or my spiritual beliefs. Okay. All right, let me get this popping. So I wanted to make it perfectly clear because I don't think that I made it perfectly clear during that live that I did, even though I was planning on taking down that live anyway. I wanted to make it perfectly clear that no, he is never welcome in my home again. Okay. Um, and me and him are battling one another. I don't exactly know why. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that he feels bad about himself as a man because he has to depend on a woman. And I think that that's what it's all about. And I think that it's stupid. I think it's totally stupid. And I think that people shouldn't be playing those kinds of games, trying to prove that a woman needs a man because that's not the truth. In fact, before I met him, I was doing wonderful. Uh, he made the choice to be this demon in my life, and he's being slayed. So it doesn't really matter whether or not he's in social media, out of social media. Another thing that he does quite often, which for some reason I began to get judged in the community, which to me is some kind of weak scapegoating spell or something, um, which has already been broken and reversed. For some reason, I was being judged because of his support of, his friends pretty much saying racist things about Black women. Okay. Now, I don't have anything to do with that. And, I've had people upset with me because of that. Okay. And I think it's totally ridiculous. I don't think any Black women have gotten upset with me about that. I really don't. I think it was all a game. Witchcraft is not a game. In fact, witchcraft is very real, it's very powerful, and it can set you free from whatever it is. It can manifest what you need and want. And we have got to get back to the real. We can no longer waste time on this. Now, people love to see their social media wars and stuff. I can promise you that everything over here, any spells, any rituals that I show you, is 100% real. Um, and he will be dealt with, you know, for a lot of the stuff that he did. We got to get back to business. We got to get back on track. Okay. We got to forget all about the things that he did. Let it go so that we can get back on track because everybody knows that my spells work. Everybody knows that my readings are accurate. Everybody knows this. Everybody at this point. Okay. We don't have time to waste. Okay. A lot of the common tactics that men like Mike use, trying to bind women, trying to disempower women, all of that stuff can be taken care of. In fact, a lot of people think that I love him or that I'm in love with him, including he thinks that. Well, maybe he doesn't anymore. Because I can promise you that what's in my inbox will never, he will never. He got upset at me the other night because I told him that I moved on. He started wishing death on my children in my inbox. Of course, I'm going to protect my babies. There's nothing that he can ever do to harm my children. I already told y'all. Okay. So I'm good. We're good. We're always good. We'll always be protected and safe. But it's just the point that he said it. Of course, I cursed him. Of course, I sent all of that negative energy back to him. He has a lot of problems. And for him, it's all about controlling somebody. He has an obsession with controlling people. And this is why he'll never live a real life. This is why he'll never be able to bask in the ambience of my love again, because he pretty much lost his mind. You know, yeah, he's pretty much lost it. Okay. So me and him will never be again, ever. Okay. Because what y'all ladies got to realize is that when a man makes love to you, uh, you are surrendering to him. And even when a man is in your house, he's bringing in spirits with him. Okay. And, you know, I got to get my house cleaned up. Okay. And I'm not talking about clean as far as surface clean. I'm talking about clean as far as the many, 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 many spirits that he brought into my house, you know, which is why I'm going to be burning pine cones in the house for the next 3 days. And when, you know, I'm going to teach y'all how to deal with an apocalyptic male like him. It's all going to be a learning process, so that if a man tries to come up in your house and tear things down and tear down the security and the stability of your family, you will know exactly how to handle it. In fact, a lot of this stuff that I've been through has just been a test, and I know that. And it's going to be a testament uh to what needs to be done. Now, this whole time that all of this has been going on, was it being done so that I can stop practicing witchcraft? The answer is no. Was it being done to prove that witchcraft is bad, dangerous, or whatever? The answer is no. It was done to teach us how to deal with these situations with people like this. Okay. Now they done came out with another color purple, y'all. And he directly reminds me of that fool in Color Purple. The one that Danny Glover played. Y'all remember in the old Color Purple? Y'all remember that when she, you know, he had put her sister out because he could see that her sister was uplifting her. He could see that you know, her sister made her happy. So he was in a very abusive man, and he threw her sister out because his sister wouldn't have sex with him because he's a disgusting. Blech. Remember when she was, why, you know, and he feels that black women, for some reason specifically, he feels that we should be enslaved, treated like dogs, treated like crap. That's literally how he feels. And you know, cherry picking as well. He feels that certain black women should be treated a certain way, but I don't think any black woman can trust him. I don't think any white woman can trust him either. I don't think anybody can trust him. If I couldn't trust him, you can't trust him. Trust me. If a woman that was in a sexual relationship with him couldn't trust him, then no woman can trust him. Okay. And it just is what it is. Okay. Um so what we're working on, what we will do, it's something that he can't stop. although he would like to, because I'm not going to put up with his crap. In fact, right now as we speak, I'm doing something about it, but I'm not going to be specific. So I'm multitasking at the moment. I don't care what anybody in that stupid sector says. In fact, that's been a problem for the past couple of years. People taking that sector seriously. Now, I feel that if you take that sector seriously and you can't stop watching it, and that is because that sector has been enchanted and not enchanted in a good way. You heard me? That sector is not enchanted in a good way. That sector is enchanted in a bad way. It's almost like a trap house or it's a curse. Okay, so but I do feel as though it's got the situation has to play itself out. Um, and I don't want to give an opinion either way. But I know for a fact that he flags your sector. He flags every single video, which he should, especially if you're talking about me or him. Okay. But he shouldn't be flagging my channel at all. And he's flagged it before. That's how the channel, that last flag that he did on my channel 3 years ago really, really, really brought down the views and the analytics and the algorithm of my channel. It's not to say that I can't build on top of this channel. It's not to say that this channel is ruined or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But um as a business owner, knowing about how the internet works, no business owner, especially us witches, can be codependent on a YouTube channel. Your website should be operating in a sense to where you should be getting a certain amount of hits. But it definitely does help being in social media and being able to do your readings and all of that. And I am in full support. I do not compete. Let me make this perfectly clear so that everybody can hear me and understand me. And this is one of the reasons why I don't understand what the purpose is and some of these other practitioners coming after me. I do not compete with other practitioners. I do not compete. And I know that when I say that, other practitioners feel some type of way because they feel that it is all competition. And it really isn't. It really isn't. In fact, you know how they say that being in the spiritual business is not even about the money. Well, I feel like, what, obviously we have to make money for our spells, obviously, for our work, obviously, right? But I feel that that goes for competition, for competing against one another. Okay. And I don't feel, unless you have an authentic witch that is purposely doing harm to you, that is not just defending herself, I don't feel that witches should be attacking one another. I think that that's stupid. And I think that that brings us all down. And I think that if you do that and you front like everything is all gravy, we're going to have to see some proof of that. You can't tell me that, because we're all connected. All of us witches are connected. Going against one another is not good. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to like everybody, has to like everybody, or we all have to get along or whatever. That's not what that means. But I think that people need to start showing people professional courtesy. I personally get up every day and bless the witches. I wish nothing but the best for you. In fact, I always like to set the tone. I am factually a trailblazer for the witches. I am 100% on your side. I think that we all should have um, a certain standard for what we charge for our services. Nobody should be getting paid based upon their race or their marital status. I think that if we allow that kind of discrimination within the witchy community, it is a mistake. So, all of you should get the benefit. If people want to come to you for your services, they should get the benefit. Now, do I believe that any witch on this website should be taking money from people that know people personally? Like, for example, if an old friend of me of mine came up to you and said, "Oh, I want to pay you to do some work against this person," I don't agree with you taking the money. And I think that any witch that has done that has cursed herself. Now, if there is a witch that does a client wrong, like curse the client and did things to mess them up, then that is the case. Then that would be the case, right? But I also think that that situation needs to be handled carefully because you are dealing with another witch. And as a witch, all of y'all are my sisters. We may not get along, but we're still sisters. And you shouldn't be going against one another. That's ridiculous. And if I've ever went against somebody, it was because they started some crap with me. I don't start crap with nobody. And I do feel, and I will always say it's not that I feel this way. It's what I've been seeing on YouTube, which is totally different environment from TikTok, is us witches being divided by race. I don't agree with that. Okay. I don't agree with that. I think racism is a tool and it's an indoctrinated belief that was meant to divide and conquer all of the little people. Okay. So I don't agree with that. I think that we all should stick together and band together because now it's a lot going on. Now, that's not to say that I'm going to lay down and take crap from anybody, because I feel like some of these people out here that are practicing, I think that they doing way too much. And you see, it's a complete disaster in the spiritual community. What is happening on so many levels? It's like we're all rats searching for a piece of cheese. It's embarrassing. They already treat us like heathens. They already call us heathens, and I think that that's a mistake. And I don't want to acknowledge, nor would I would, if somebody on here calls themselves a witch, I will no longer be acknowledging you. Okay, I'm not going to be acknowledging anybody like that. It's an embarrassment. It's a disgrace. Okay, a group of witches cannot empower a man to do harm to a woman either. Spirit wanted me to say that. You can't enchant him or empower him just because you're upset and you're mad at another witch. You cannot do that. That is totally a violation. Um, and there's a significant amount of negative karma that will come up for that. Okay, I'm just advising. especially when the witch is aware of it, when the witch is a medium, practices necromancy, can sense spirits. You can't send spirits through a man, because that's what Mike was being used for. Mike was being used as a tool against me. Okay, he was. Whenever he had an assignment, he fulfilled it. As a witch, you should never feel that anybody can bring you down. And I can say this even though I have like a whole group of witches against me. Well, they call themselves witches. You should, as a witch, you should never ever feel that if a person did that to you, that they can destroy you. If you do that, you are not standing in your power as a witch. And it's important for all of us witches to be empowered. If you're an authentic witch and you're actually doing work for people, I'm talking about the ones, not the fake ones. I'm not talking about the ones that claim they're witches. I'm talking about the ones of you that actually do work for people, especially those of you that do healing work, those of you that are very similar to me. Most of the people, I say at least 70% of the people that I do readings for are witches. I do readings and I do spiritual work for witches. Witches come to me and pay for classes. So I am very respected. Even if this so-called community on YouTube tries to show something different, people know about me. People come to me. People always will. And they will always love me. Okay. I think it's because I remind them a lot of like Lilith or either Hecate. I am total witch. Total. Okay. And I always look out for the witches. I do, especially those of you that have been casted out. You have been degraded. You have been kicked to the side. You have been taken advantage of. You have been judged unfairly. You have been harmed. You need to be healed. That healing comes through me a lot. I heal witches from their afflictions. A lot of us have been afflicted by this ignorance, by this male academia, by their indoctrinated beliefs. No witch should be representing that. If she wants, she can, but she is your enemy. And it's not to say that you can't have a man. That doesn't prove that. Stop judging whether or not, don't judge. You better not judge anything about your life based upon Mike. Based upon what happened between me and Mike, you bet not. You better not judge good or bad, because we all knew it was a 50-50 chance it was going to end this way, with me slaying him disgracing the witches, and me slaying him and overpowering him. Everybody knew. Hell, I wanted it to end with this perfect, at least us being getting along and being cool with one another. That will never happen again. I am never going to forgive Mike for what he did. The past 3 months, never. At that moment, when I came out to the community and I told the community how I felt and I cussed him out, even though it should have been a private thing, it was done publicly on purpose. He should have bowed down. He should have bowed down. And the reason why is because he was the one that was wrong. No, instead, he came on here, continued to talk shit in the name of his so called masculinity, which isn't masculine at all because he was doing the bidding of a confused woman. At any rate, I told him the other day, and he's very upset about it. Trust me, he's very, very upset about this. But he'll calm his ass down. We're gonna put him on ice. He'll calm down. He's very, very upset about me coming for my halo. He doesn't want me to do that. That's why me and him have been, we've been fighting. He doesn't want me to break the mold that he tried to set for me. A mold. He tried to buy shoes to fit me. He tried to even, dictate to me what kind of hat I was going to wear. Not going to happen. We're getting back to business. If you are a witch that feels as though somehow my business is messing with your business, well, you're not a witch. You may be something that resembles a witch, but you're not a witch. Because honestly, witches should not be pocket watching one another. The only time me and witches should be watching one another is when we are comparing our prices. Is if we're doing a price comparison. If a witch is choosing to make her prices public, not to compete against one another. No, we're not doing that to compete against one another. We're doing that to know what the standard is going to be, to set standards. And if we choose to go by someone else's standards, we can. We don't have to if we don't want to. Now, I'm not making these statements to tell any witch. You can be a witch and hate my fucking guts. You can be a witch and not like me. It doesn't matter to me. I'm talking specifically and directly to the witches that want to work with me, to the witches that plan on getting work from me, to the witches that cuz I have witches come to me to get work on them. Okay? This is for the witches that want to work with me. A lot of y'all that want to be in my network. That's who I'm talking to. If you're a witch that's completely against me and you hate me and you got a problem with me and you doing death magic on my family and all that bullshit, fine. Because I'm not worried about you. I'm talking about the witches that are with me. Okay. And yes, you do want to be a witch that is open enough to attract the man for you, but you also want to be a witch that is powerful enough to rise above if a man goes against you. Okay. And yeah, we all can do domination spells and things of that nature. That wasn't the case with that man because he's already lazy. He claims that he's living with another woman. So none of that stuff even applied to me to begin with. I didn't understand why we were arguing over a booty call. He was a booty call, pretty much, is what he was. And he hates when I say that because he wanted to be more. But he can't be more if he's living with another woman, vacationing with another woman. And I don't personally have an interest in living with him. I don't want to live with him. So that's been thrown up in my face quite a bit. I'm not interested in living with him. I'm not even interested in talking to him. And now I'm not even interested in having sex with him. I have no desire to be with that man whatsoever. And it's not because of anybody's breakup spell. It's because he's just not the man for me. Okay. I personally feel that he was not man enough for me. He was not the type of man that I was looking for. Especially, I mean, why would any black woman want to be with a man that has no respect for black women? That's kind of like a no-brainer. He has no respect for black women, and he targeted me out of the gates because I'm black. There was no amount of love that I could have given to him. I could have done everything perfect. It wouldn't have mattered. You heard me? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does not like black women. He's made that perfectly clear. And that's sad because he has a black daughter. That's really sad. I feel bad for his child because one day she's gonna have to face that her father is an Uncle Ruckus, and trust me, if he's this way in his 40s, he's gonna get worse. He's gonna get worse. And he's showing that this is what he's showing, and unless he apologizes and redeems himself, apologizes directly to me, that's just what it is. Okay. So no black woman can be empowered by what he's doing. Even if you are a black woman that enchanted this man to do that, even if you were working with him to do that as a black woman, you're spitting in your own face and you're chopping your own head off. Because I would never tell him. I would never feel empowered by him coming out and going against and hating black women. That does not empower me at all. And I don't want it. And I'm getting it completely the hell up out of my house, spiritually and physically. And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, there's black women on here that have a problem with me. There's black women that I don't like. There's black women that have been stalking me, harassing me, trying to do spells on me. Am I gonna come on here and call black women black bitches? Do I have to do that? That's disgusting. I hate that. And they're always being caught doing that. When in reality, my company was built 90%, I'd say 90% of my clientele were all black women. That's ridiculous. Like, yes, I do have I have clients of all races. You know what I'm saying? And I don't limit myself just to black clients. My company is very universal. And it just it's me, and that's the standard that I set for myself, and that's just all it is to it. Every single client gets the same treatment. They get the same quality. They get what they pay for. Okay. Now, yes, there are black women who ain't about nothing, attacking people's kids. There's probably, if you're a black woman, there's probably a black woman right now attacking your family. There's probably a black woman right now doing you dirty. Hey, it just is what it is. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. You can't internalize racism. That's weak. Internalized racism is weak and stupid, and whoever started that needs to be hung and damn burned. That is stupid. I don't care what race you are. If I got to handle you and deal with you, I'm going to deal with you spiritually. If I see you as a threat to me, And depending on the level of the threat that you are to me, I'm gonna handle you accordingly. Not ever am I gonna feel as a black woman who I do have primarily black when it comes to my DNA. I don't trust those DNA tests. I don't necessarily trust them because they can't always be reliable. So I go by what I know as far as my family history. It's Ethiopian. I know that it's black Ethiopian. I don't even have to have anybody tell me that. Nobody has to confirm for me that it's Ethiopian. Oh, Ethiopian, the African, Native American. I believe it's Blackfoot Indian or Blackfoot. Um, I'll have to check back with my uncle because I didn't write it down the last time I spoke to him. Japanese and white. So that's what's in my bloodline. Um, that has nothing to do with business. That has nothing to do with what I am doing here. And I refuse to be a part of racism on any level, especially internalized racism. It doesn't matter what race you are. If you are doing something to me or against my clients, I'm going to treat you the same way that I treat anybody else. You see what I'm saying? If you come to my business to get spiritual work done, you're going to get treated with the same respect. And that's one of the things that Mike bought in because he thought he was smart. A lot of them thought that they were smart, but in reality, all of it was stupid. Okay. In reality, all of it was stupid and silly. Okay. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, I encourage a lot of you guys that have expressed interest, no matter what race you are, you're still my sister. No matter if you're black, if you're white, you're still my sister if you're a witch. And it just is what it is. We throw in the racism out of the door. We may have to deal with racism. Yes, I've had to deal with I've had people call my son cave baby because my son is mixed. It's ugly. Racism is ugly. My child is mixed. In fact, that's part of the reason why my family was targeted because I brought a mixed child into this world. Okay. But he, like the rest of my babies, are the light and the love of my world, and he will always be protected and loved, and that will never change. Okay. It's been a lot of racism, especially internalized racism, that's been happening a lot. And it's such a shame. It's such a shame. It really is. It's a shame and it's a waste of time and energy. It really is. And it's not going to protect you. Okay. In fact, I think that people that are doing stuff like that are being used. And that's just not good. So I have love and respect for everybody. I think that we have all contributed something to our very, very complex history as a civilization. And I'm good with all of it. What I do know is that I am no longer associating with certain things, especially that sector, because y'all internalize racism way too much, and there's nothing empowering about that, and they're all finding out the hard way. It gets you nowhere. It doesn't. It's all about the magic, and there's no magic in racism. Racism, and here's the thing that I want y'all to understand is that racism was a byproduct of slavery, right? Especially in America. Slavery was all about free labor, basically. So if you're a black person and you internalize racism, then you're like a free hoe. You're like a tool. So you're not empowered at all. Okay. And you shouldn't be looking for trouble from your own people anyway. So we don't operate like that over here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. So we don't, we don't do that. And, I'm cool with everybody. I have a lot of amazing clients that I love very, very much of all races and backgrounds. Okay. So, if you feel that you have to compare yourself to another race, you need to do some deep, deep, deep shadow work. So I don't like it. I don't like it. And I don't capitalize off of it either. Never have and never will. It's all 100% pure magic over here, baby. Pure magic. Pure magic. Okay. So we're getting things back on track at Divine Services. And I went ahead and extended my flash sale because yesterday, my goofy ass, I sat up there and released the flash sale and didn't even update the price on the website until like hours later. Somebody contacted me and was like, "Okay," they was like, "But you ain't changed the price." Like and I said, "Oh shit." I went on there. I said, "Let me hurry up and go change this so you can get a consultation for 60." Okay. My consultations are 60. My 1 hour readings are 60 and 30-minute readings are 30. And this is going to be until midnight. You'll be able to purchase. You don't have to necessarily do your reading today, but you can still purchase it today and then we can do it later. Okay. I'm not running any specials on my spell work. But you guys are more than welcome to ask me about payment arrangements. And then also, there's so many different options for you. Okay. There's so many different options for you. In fact, my witch bottles, which some of them now I don't here's one of the reasons why I have not put my witch bottles on the website. It is because the witch bottles, they're not always the same price. For example, some of you guys may need a protection witch bottle or either an evil eye witch bottle that may be a different price. Now, the one thing I can tell you is that there's all sorts of different things that I do. Like, for example, sometimes when I do your witch bottles, depending on what you need, I will invoke certain spirits on it. For example, there's some of you guys that have asked already for me to do a invocation of boon, okay, or bame for you guys. And so, there's sometimes when I'm doing the witch bottles, I will invoke boon or clonic to, enchant or, just to work with their energies while I am constructing your witch bottles. Okay. So, witch bottles are not just a bottle with herbs and things of that nature. A lot of the times you really want to give them spirit, you want to give them life by invoking certain energies. Okay. And I am still offering the classes. I know that there's a couple of you um, that are going to be apprentices this fall, and I'm looking forward to that. You guys being apprentices this fall because, it's going to be cold outside. And I'm just going to be sitting here either in front of my fireplace or either in front of or either it depends on where I'm at. I may be in the kitchen. Pretty much we do Zoom with that. The classes are held by Zoom. Sometimes I'll do them by phone. Um but I look forward to my apprentices this winter and then even some of you students, okay? All right. If you guys have any questions, you can post them in the chat right now. Otherwise, I'm not going to be talking about this man. You know what I don't like about him? I'm going to tell you what I don't like about him. Number one, he tried to stop me from buying a house, which is like, bro, like, you're lame. Get the hell up out of my face. He wants to be the only one that does something. That to me, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be with him because of that. He wants to be the only one that does things or accomplishes things. That is so delusional. And I think that's a mental illness. Just like some of these people coming out here, like that, like y'all don't recognize that as a mental illness. Y'all don't recognize that as a mental illness. People that, all of us witches are wanting to write books. All of us witches are wanting to, make our own candles and different projects and things of that nature. And you got people out there that's saying you stole that idea from me. What? So we stole witchcraft from you. Like, I guys, I oh no. You stole that idea from me. I put herbs on and oils on my candles. Excuse me, ma'am, are you mentally ill? Have you lost your mind? That's a mental ill. What if I did that? What if I went live and I was serious as hell, y'all? I swear to God. Y'all, did y'all see how that witch drilled a hole in the back of the head near the cerebral cortex of that skull candle? Did you see how she drilled a hole in it and poured some oils down in it and stuck a stone in it? She stole that from me. Are you freaking kidding me? What leader of the spiritual community is speaking that way? Please, one EQ. Get me away from these people, please. I swear to God. I can't. I can't. And they want to be a leader. You stuck a pin in that doll. You stole that idea from me. Ah! Somebody please quick get this witch some goddamn. I mean, we all have our own unique way of doing things, but are you serious right now? Like, y'all, I can't. She wore black on Halloween. She stole that from me. What's wrong with these people? And then y'all wonder why I don't want to be associated. And then people run around here and look at me like I'm the bad guy, like I curse these people. You know what I'm saying? Oh Lord. It's ridiculous. It is. It's ridiculous. And I think, like, okay, so I enjoy witchy content a lot. I enjoy witchy content creators. And there's a few that I watch. Uh Jasmine Ambrosia. I watch Arabian Conjure. I watch The Witch of Wonderlust. There's a few others that I watch. Sad to say, I can't say that there's any black ones that I watch. Isn't that sad? That is so sad that there's no, I can't say that I watch any, because what's happening here? What is going on here? Please, if you're a black witchy content creator, link me your channel. There's one that I watch. I think her name is High Priestess Yaya. I think she calls herself Yaya. And she does a lot of I don't know if she does a lot of like she covers stories and stuff. And so, but sad as it is, the ones that I went to watch, they're all nuts. They're all crazy. It seems like they all went nuts. Like, just some of the stuff that they say, just some of the stuff that they do. It's crazy for me to come on YouTube and come into the witchy community, and all of the black ones that I connected with are threatening my children. That, like, what is going on here? And there are a few that I watch on TikTok as well. And it's a shame. And the ones that I do watch, they want to be the only ones that black people watch for either witchy content or either spiritual guidance. But they're out here threatening people's children. As a black woman, my standards are much higher for anybody that I associate myself with or anybody that I want to watch on YouTube. I don't even want to listen to you or watch you because you are that ruthless. And what's crazy is that they got rid of this one vlogger named Tommy Sotomayor, who was dogging the hell out of black women. But then black women that I've connected to on a spiritual level are doing exactly the stuff that he was talking about. But the problem with men like him and Kevin Samuels is that they were encouraging body shaming, they were encouraging discrimination in their own communities. And I don't want to be connected to that sickness. That's sick to me. You're sick to me. You're sick. And they tried to force me to be connected to them. Ew. I don't want anything to do with you. And get off my nutsack. It's almost like these women are under possession of these men, of these black men. They spoke it into existence and then it happened. I was looking at somebody the other day who gets like 300 live viewers per live, which I think they're fake views. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And she was on there calling black women black bitca, these black bitches. It's like, are you a man? Like one EQ, one EQ. I understand that our own people, oh my God, they can piss you off. Like, oh my God, like I just want to strangle you and just shove intelligence down your goddamn throat. I just want to shove some intelligence down your throat because you're irritating me, right? How would you feel about me if I did that? If I were like that? If I was like, all these black women, you black bitches, what would you, how would you feel? That's just ill. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get the hell away from this website for a while and go over to TikTok, but they followed me over to TikTok. And I'm not going to sit up here and with all this going on and come back to this platform and say, okay, guys, so now I'm going to show y'all some crystals. I mean, yeah, I will be back later. I will admit that I have a witchy project coming up later, but I got to handle this first. I got to talk about this first. This got to come first. I got to get this off my chest first. But I'm not going to deal with some of the stuff that we've been dealing with, some of the crazy shit that we've been dealing with on this website, and then come back and say, okay, now we're just going to do a nice little project, y'all. No, I got to address this. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend that it's not there, that the stupidity, the utter stupidity is not there. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to address it and I'm going to get past it. And if they try to argue with me, I'm not going to respond with them anymore. If that fool, if Mike comes on here and tries to respond to me, I'm not going to argue with him anymore because why should I have to? He does not deserve the dignification of my response anymore. None of them do. None of them deserve for me to dignify what they're saying with a response. So I'm not going to respond. I don't care what they say. Right. It's crazy. It's insanity, one EQ. It is insanity. And they sit around all day. Like I said, he sits around all day. He's flagging this video right now. They sit around all day flagging channels, is what they do. This group of people. Goodness gracious. So it just and I couldn't imagine living my life that way. I just couldn't imagine it. I couldn't, y'all. Okay, I gotta run outside real quick. So I gotta go. I'm done speaking about this. If he wants to, if his audience is silly enough to want to believe that that I don't have the ability to manifest $3,600 or $1,800 a month, if his audience wants to believe in that, then let them, because they are afflicted by demons of poverty. In reality, we don't have this issue over here, but we've learned a lot. Like, for example, I did an amazing because somebody did. It wasn't nobody on YouTube. Trust me, it was not anybody on YouTube. My powers was binded for like real big time, like the past 4 months. My powers were binded. Yeah, and it was like a dark demonic binding, and I've already reversed it. So The person that did it, they don't give a damn about having their powers, binded. So they can take that back. But yeah, my powers were binded for like the past 4 months. And I can tell you that men are constantly trying to bind our powers as witches. They just do that for some reason. Men try to bind us with the Bible. There are several binding there's several binding spells that are in the Bible to bind a witch. Did y'all know that? And so they use the Bibles to do that, to bind us from our own power and to, um, so, um, I made a witch bottle called Maleficent. And, to make sure that you keep your powers unbinded, because that can be dangerous. And men need to get the fuck out of here with that crap. Let me tell you something. Get the fuck out of here with that crap. That's dangerous. A man can get it. He can get his ass kicked spiritually, completely and totally. Don't you dare bind my powers, because you know what? You bind a person's powers, and then they may not be able to defend themselves against other witches out here or against attacks. Okay. And please don't bind your children's powers. Don't ever do that. That can have disastrous effects. You don't bind. Oh my God. It's like a worldwide virus or something that's just spreading. It's called stupidity. And don't listen to no witch that's telling you that your child is against you and your child is doing work on you and you got to bind their child. Somebody, one of these people on here was trying to work her way up to saying some shit like that to me, and I hung up in her face. I trust all of my children, even when they messing up and doing wrong. Those are mine. They're my babies. They're my babies. So there would be no need for me to bind their power. Binding your children is just like opening them up to all sorts of problems. So you don't bind you. Who does that? And I think that a lot of them, you can't trust them, because I know for a fact that they turned my mother against me, because I was not against my mother. Me and my mother were getting. Don't trust some of these people on here. My family, even in the afterlife, my family is still trying to work on my mother. They still working on her, because she got a seed planted inside of her to where somebody told her that I was trying to do harm to her, and never. And they used my mother. So these people can't be trusted, and I've already named all of the people that can't be trusted. I've named them. When they show something differently, then maybe they can be. Otherwise, you're just a problematic person that is destroying people's lives and families' lives. Then they was trying to bind me. It took them like several years. I mean, it shouldn't take 6 or 7 years to bind somebody's magic. 6 to 7 years that you've been working on binding somebody, and they can literally reverse it within an hour. That's like a waste of time. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. All right, y'all, I gotta go. Hail Lucifer, hail Satan. Well, first of all, hail Lilith, hail Lucifer, hail Satan, hail Boone, hail Clonic, hail to Forneus. And I will see y'all later. Oh, by the way, check the website. You guys will see where I'm offering invocations as well as packs with each of the uh daemons that I just mentioned. And I love them all. Hail Satan, hail Lucifer, period. Hail to Lilith, period. Period, poo. Anyway, guys, if you guys want readings that are on my flash sale, you guys can visit the website. Get it in. Also get into my Maybon circle. Hell to Maybon. Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good Sunday. Bless, bless. Bye.